So I decided to do another INFJ video. Missing my partner in crime, the ENTP, he's at work, and I just decided that maybe I should do another video. And something that I've been thinking about recently is how I work in a workplace as an INFJ. If you haven't seen on the other video, I am a library coordinator, and I feel like I fit in a position for the first time perfectly. And it's been a long road to get there. I had a lot of, I took a lot of job opportunities that people were surprised with. I took a supervisor position at a manufacturing facility, Chrysler, and it was sort of an internship where they just throw you out there and throw you out to the wolves, basically. And you have to figure out basically a whole new, for me it was a whole new language of what the heck is dunnage, what is this and these initials, what is this jargon, as well as figure out a whole new culture, figure out people's communication styles. It was a very good learning experience, I will say that. And they, at the end, a fellow supervisor told me that he was surprised at how well I did. So that was really good to hear, because I love a challenge. And maybe that's why I take so many positions that don't seem like something that would be good for me. I've taken customer service positions, a lot of like very extroverted seeming positions. I worked in a school, and that was pretty good. But it wasn't really until I worked in a library so good. Not only with the position, with the the tasks are great, and it just really fits my skill set and my personality and my goals for my life. I want to give back and create progress in individuals' lives and hopefully give back. That's really important to INFJs, of course, as the advocate. But not only is that position good for me, but also I finally feel like I'm able to communicate really well with a staff that I belong to. And it was funny because I made a lot of my coworkers take the Myers-Briggs test. That's how comfortable I feel with them, that I can just be like a nerd and just be like, hey, you know what your MBTI is? So, and when I had them take it, there were definitely some trends. There are someone that I used to work with at the library that I still work at. She moved away, and we message each other every day still, and she's an INFJ. There have been 2 other INFJs. My director that is seriously the best boss I've ever had is an ENFJ. There are a couple other ENFJs, INTJs, just one INTJ actually, some ISFJs, and some INFPs, and I think that's it. So you can definitely see some trends there, and those personality types I've noticed I've kind of flocked to in my personal life as friends too. So obviously my ENTP, my boyfriend is an ENTP, so I flocked to him as well. He flocked to me actually, but that's another story for another video. But so it's interesting seeing how these different personality types I can communicate so clearly with. I think, I don't know if it's being able to read one another, or if it's because that's just how we are and how we communicate just naturally. But we say what we mean, and we explain why we're doing something a certain way and what the end goal is. And so that has been really, really helpful in a workplace. And there haven't been any egos or any, of course, you know, our director is supervising us, but there's no real like feel of a hierarchy, which is nice. It's more of a supportive atmosphere. So in other jobs that I've been in, I felt uncomfortable going to someone because of body language that I pick up on, or, you know, even things that they've said, or being confused by their reactions and their body language, not quite understanding how or why they're reacting a certain way to something that I'm saying. So there's not that within my new position. And so that's why I've been thinking lately about, so what is wrong with being an INFJ in those sorts of situations? It's just like, I think my ENTP faces this a little bit too, but it's very difficult to be an INFJ, or maybe it's an intuitive thing, I'm not sure, but or an ENTP and INFJ thing, maybe, I don't know, but it's difficult to communicate within those structures, those social structures. There's like, I don't pick up on tradition or social hierarchy very well. Like, if I have a question and I need to know how to do something, I'm just going to ask you. Like, my intuition helps me see pretty clearly, thank goodness, how, like, what I need in order to get better or do a task correctly, or like accomplish something and get trained effectively. And so I will just, even though I'm an introvert and I can be soft spoken sometimes, but I am driven in order to do well. And so I will stand up and say, like, hey, why do we do this? Why, or how can I do this better? And just, I look for a lot of feedback. That's something that's interesting with INFJs. Like, sometimes I want feedback a little bit too much. Like, sometimes I'm asking, am I doing this okay? And I need to settle down and stop bothering people. I'm doing good, and I'm actually causing issues by asking so much. But so that might be something else that is annoying in other situations, to where other NFJs and NFs and NTs might understand where I'm coming from a little bit more and just say, hey girl, settle down. You're doing good, and we could give you feedback along the way, and we promise we will along the way. You don't have to keep asking us for it. Yeah. So back to these structures that I saw in other positions and other jobs. I guess comment below what you think, if you are an INFJ or another intuitive that has kind of struggled fitting into these structures. What do you think that is? Even when I, worked for some educational facilities and some nonprofits, there was this expectation of how I should act and how I should speak when in the presence of someone that was higher up than me. Or if I seemed too informal or too timid or too sweetsy or something, like every once in a while I'll use a high-pitched sweetsy voice, I guess. Like, oh, is this okay? Like, it's kind of cringy, and I hate that I do that, but I do, and people treat me differently then after that. It's something that's probably been conditioned as a woman into me, but sorry, my cat is so cute. But so people judge me if I seem too informal, if I seem like I'm not respecting them, if they deem that I should understand something quickly. I think it really just comes down to the fact that people don't understand that other people function differently. So that's why Myers-Briggs has helped me so much. And, you know, having my fellow staff take the Myers-Briggs helped me understand them more, and helped me understand why we get along so well and why we communicate so effectively. But heck, guys, like, we have these 16 different personalities, and, you know, each personality within the 16 personalities there's like different functions that we can favor and different that's just a whole other video. Like, people are so diverse in how we think. We have places in which we are raised, we have families that we are raised in, we have experiences that we've had, and different education levels, different cultures, different, like, and on top of that, there are different ways in which our brains function and different motivations that we have that affect the way we think and that we act. And so once someone can understand that, and the theories of multiple intelligence, it's just, there's so much that goes into being a human being. It's quite overwhelming, actually, at how complicated our brains are. But now I feel like I'm getting on a soapbox, but once we kind of understand that everyone thinks differently, I feel like we can start to bridge that gap in a better, more effective way in the workplace. And the rare INFJs out there, although I seem to just keep finding them in the library world. Oh, you guys like my library's rock shirt? Most INFJ shirt ever. But, and my video's gonna stop. Might as well stop. It's 13 and a half minutes. It's getting ridiculous. Bye, guys. I think you understand what I'm saying, and comment below your experiences or your questions. Thanks so much. See ya.